I left eXp Realty for Real Broker after almost 5 years with eXp. And it wasn't because eXp was bad, it's full of great people, but my team was hitting a ceiling and there were a lot of things out of my control that I couldn't change or I wanted to be different. So I started looking elsewhere and that's when I found Real Broker. Today I'm showing you 4 main reasons why I joined Real Broker and how a lot of their systems and things that they implement have fixed a lot of bottlenecks in my business and things I'm excited about to propel my business and move it forward and grow. This change wasn't about chasing something new. In fact, I was a pretty big producer. Here's 1, here's 2, and here is 3 icon awards that I've had at eXp. If you're not from eXp, you have to hit a certain milestone of production, probably around 30 houses a year. So I was producing at eXp and I was happy, but there were a lot of things in my business that I felt like were missing. So when I started looking elsewhere, that's when Real Broker came into play. So this is not changing or just chasing this shiny object in a different brokerage thinking that it's going to improve my business. It's really looking for things specifically that I needed in my business that I found at Real Broker that I feel like is going to change it and help it move more efficiently and effectively so that we can grow our business moving forward. And in this video, I'm going to discuss the 4 main things. One of them is the why, which I already kind of talked about. And right after that, I'm going to discuss the systems that I found at Real that can benefit my business. Then I'm going to discuss the money because that's important. Everybody wonders about fees and how much money you're going to make and how everything works there. And then I'm going to talk about the culture and the people here at Real. So let's discuss systems. And what I found at Real is that there is a central dashboard where everything lives. And for me, that's super important. It's kind of like one of those things that you don't know what you know until you know. And when I was at eXp, I had no issues. But what I discovered is that they have apps and softwares kind of all over the place. It's more of a plug and play. So, you know, you have your CRM or you have your documentation platforms and it's all kind of bolted together. Nothing wrong with that. I was totally fine doing that with my business. But once I found out that Real has this one specific central dashboard where everything lives, for me, that was kind of like almost like an aha moment because I love efficiency. I love making things easier, more efficient, not just for me, but for my team members, right? For our transaction coordinator, for our agents on our team, because when they get frustrated or they have frustrations, it always ends up in my desk and then I have to kind of fix the situation. And I found myself having to fix things more often than not. So looking into the dashboard of what Real has to offer for me was like, okay, everything's centralized here. If there's an issue, we can easily fix it and have all the communication on this platform. We have all our deals, our revenue share, the money we make, everything is right in this one place. And for me, that was a big deal. So let's go ahead and go into the dashboard. We just joined Real maybe 2-3 days ago and we're still transferring a lot of our deals in, but let's go ahead and go into the Reason app and show you exactly how the dashboard looks. All right, so here we are in the Reason app. Now, I just joined 2 days ago, very new with this, but I'm going to give you the best explanation that I can. We're still transferring over a lot of our transactions, but as you can see here, this is the dashboard. And on the dashboard is basically where you can see the overview. You can see your current cap cycle. We don't have any closings here, so we're at 0%. We can see who your upline is and who your network is for revenue share. I have, I believe, 2 people, my business partner and one of our team agents. We're still missing another team agent. Here's your upline that you can check out. Here's everybody in my upline. Really nice to see that. You have your commissions. You have your transaction coordinators that you can add here. This is basically where you can see everything and anything. You have your licenses, your office, what board you're part of, so on and so forth. So let's just go ahead and go into my transactions. And here are the 2 transactions that we transferred over that are under contract. And we're just going to look at it. So you have your listings and my transactions. Your listings, once they get under contract, you just mark them under contract and they move over here to my transactions. So when you click on it, you can see everything here on your dashboard, which is super nice. And then as you need documents or checklists to view, you can come right here. So right here is kind of the documents and the things that we still need to get through. But if you come on the checklist, it'll show you all the documents here and you'll have comments, hey, you still need to upload this, or hey, you still need to upload that. You can ask for revisions, you can see what's accepted, and you can talk back and forth with them here. Everything's centralized in one specific platform, and I absolutely love this because in the prior brokerage where me and my business partner couldn't both see what's going on with the transaction. So if our admin or transaction coordinator was like, hey, we have this issue, I'd either have to log into her account or have them add me to some other things to fix some things. But here everybody can see everything. Also, you can see the commissions and the splits here. I love this because one of the things that frustrated me a lot was when we have different commission splits, or we have referrals out, or we have a different commission split with our team agents, we always had to do paperwork to change things. So for this specific commission right here, as you can see, you go to the payment and you see the both commissions, who's getting what. You just adjust the commission. So let's say me and my business partner, we split everything 50-50, but let's say it was a team member, right? So Ashley, she's only going to get 25, and then I'm going to get 25, and then we can give a team member an additional 50%. It's as easy as that. There's no emails going back and forth, people. I don't have to talk to corporate. I don't have to fill out paperwork and have this person sign, that person sign. It's really as easy as this. I just come here and make the changes as needed. Another thing that is really awesome is that you can pay your transaction coordinator directly through here. If you use somebody in-house, you can either still pay them through here, or if you use a separate transaction coordinator like we do, we have a contractor transaction coordinator that she works for a lot of agents plus us. Usually what happens is we typically get paid, and then we get a invoice from them once a month, and then we have to pay back and forth. And it's not a huge ordeal, but it's just, again, it's another little thing that we have to do. With this system, I can literally come in here and just change, pay her 150 or whatever her amount is, 300, and we can make it work in this system. So that's something that's a huge game changer for us, so that every transaction we have, it's a little bit more efficient. Now, if you have 1 or 2 deals, maybe this is not a big deal for you, but if you have 30 deals or 50 deals or 100 deals, all these little things will definitely add up to being way more efficient, and I love that they have this here. Another thing too that I like is that it has AI and it's integrated to everything that they do. The AI that they have is called Leo, and they actually use ChatGPT, the newest version, for it. So for example, I can come here and I'm on this transaction already, so I don't have to be like, hey, for transaction, blah, blah, blah. So we're not there yet, but let's say I want a CDA. Can you send me a CDA? And right here on the chat window, it'll just go ahead and start populating what the information is. So it says to send the commission disbursement agreement, or CDA, for this transaction, you'll need to complete a few steps. So obviously we're not there yet. So it's telling me what I need to do first to get it. Once you're done, the CDA directly, you can send the CDA directly from the transaction screen in Reason, and it'll tell me exactly how to get that. And when you have referral out, they're like, you know what, send me your W-9 for your company. So I will put here on Leo, send me Real Broker W-9. Let's see what it comes up with. So you can download Real Broker's current W-9 directly from using this link. So you can just click on that and it automatically downloads for you. I have tried to get a W-9 from other brokerages that I've been a part of, and it has literally taken me 2 days, because first, their process was you need to email this department. Well, this department has a 24 to 48 hour time response back. Then they got a little bit more efficient, and you had to go to a separate platform. You had to look in all their documents, but you can't type W-9. You have to type W-9 and some other things to get the specific W-9. It was just a hassle. But with Real and the way that they've integrated AI, you can literally ask Leo questions, and it's going to generate things for you, whether that's documents, whether that's how to bring a new agent on, or training for a new agent. Something that it does that I love too is if you are doing a lot of transactions and you have splits, it'll start to learn how you communicate with it, and it'll start to tailor answers based on how I like it. I don't like fluff. I like straight to the point. Just give me my information and I can move on. But it'll start sending you training. So if you're looking up a lot of things with transactions or how to word things in contracts, it'll send you a training of something that has happened in the past from an agent that have done trainings on verbiage, on scripts, things for contracts specifically. So as you start to put more inputs into it, it'll start sending you trainings, and it'll start learning from you and helping you even better, which is absolutely amazing. I can't rave enough about this system that they've built, and Leo integrating with things. It makes life so much easier. Another cool thing too is that when you start discussing about specific deals, for example, you can come in comments and see how everything's happening here. Again, we just transferred over, so there's a bunch of stuff we need to add, but you can just add right here, hey, I see that you asked for this, where can I find this document? Or hey, we're sending everything right here. Everything gets listed right here in the same place. Another cool thing is that you have your offices tab here, and you can actually message the broker. When you click on that, it'll just go to your inboxes, and you can message the broker. Here's the Tennessee broker team, and you can ask it specific questions, and you have all your brokers there. So whatever questions you have, whether it's, sign compliance, whether it's, hey, how do I use this verbiage? Or hey, I'm having this issue. all that gets locked in here. So it's all in one central location. And the good thing is that you also have your phone and you have the Reason app on your phone. So if you need to call your broker, whether you're in a transaction, you have a general question, you can ask Leo, hey, call my broker for me. You'll click a button, and when you call them from the Reason app, everything that you talk about gets transcribed and saved on here. So you don't have to like go back and be like, wait, what did we talk about? What do I have to do? Everything is transcribed. Everything's already put into the Reason app. And that's a huge plus when you have so much going on or so many issues with this transaction or that transaction. Everything gets categorized and put into the specific transaction. And again, just one more thing that makes things more streamlined. Another thing that the dashboard has is their Real Signature. This is their platform where you can send files to get signatures. We use .loop, so this is something that we haven't even explored yet, but definitely something we will check out. You can have your own templates. You can share with buyers or sellers or brokers or whoever the case may be. You have everything right here in the central location, which is a huge plus. So again, I love this platform because everything's centrally located. I don't have to go to different softwares here and there. Everything's right here, and I absolutely love it. The next section is the money, right? Let's talk about how you're going to get paid, what the splits and the caps are, all the fees associated with Real Broker. Now, for me, when I talk to people, more often than not, or I'm recruiting agents or new agents or seasoned agents are like, hey, you know, where should I go? I'm really worried about this fee or that fee. More often than not, I tell people don't worry so much about the fees, because if you're worried about that $90 a month fee, we have to have a different conversation, because it's really about your business and you not being able to afford that fee. But I still understand that when you're starting off or you're going through a drought, $100 a month is a lot of money. I remember when I first started off, I quit my full-time job, went full into real estate. $100 a month for me was almost life-changing. It was, you know, maybe a week's worth of food for me and my family. It was a lot of money. So let's talk about the fees and the money that you're going to make with Real Broker. So just off the bat, the splits and the cap, mainly what a lot of people want to know is that it is a 85-15 split, which is better than a lot of places out there. So you keep 85% and you pay 15% to the brokerage. Then with the cap, you actually have a $12,000 cap. So usually, depending on the price point of your homes, that's anywhere from 5 to 7, maybe even 8 homes if it's a lot lower price point, and you're gonna reach the cap at Real, which is awesome. After you reach the cap, you basically make 100% of your commissions for the rest of the anniversary year. So if you join in March of 2026, your anniversary would be March of 2027. So if you reach your cap within May, June, August, September, the remainder of that year until March of the following year, you have 100% commission. Now, another thing that is awesome about Real is that you do not pay any monthly fees until you close something. They do have a yearly fee of $750, but they only take it out when you actually close something. So your first 3 transactions, when you have something to close, they take out $250, $250, $250 for a total of $750 a year. And then after that, they don't take out any more of those transactions. So that's really nice for people that are looking to be part of a broker that don't charge the monthly fees. Yes, they have fees, but it's only when you close. So that's a huge added benefit. Another thing that I want to discuss, and this was another big factor for me personally, not only was the cap lower when comparing to eXp. eXp has a $16,000 cap. Here at Real, we have a $12,000 cap. You're automatically saving $4,000 right there a year off of your cap. But also both brokerages have a producer award type of thing. At eXp, it's called Icon. So I have a couple of icons that I've reached over the last couple of years at eXp, which is an awesome program. At eXp, once you cap at their $16,000 cap, if you sell 20 houses, which equals to about $5,000 in the post-cap transaction fee, because you get charged $250 every single time you produce a transaction after you cap, and that equals to $5,000. Hopefully that made sense to you. So it's about 20 houses that you sell, you become an Icon agent. And becoming an Icon agent has its benefits. It allows you the ability to earn up to $16,000 in stock incentive awards. You get $8,000 automatically given to you, and then you have the ability to win an additional $8,000 in stock. Of course, all this vests over 3 years, but that's a huge benefit for you. It's not just an award, it's not just a shiny little trophy, but also a lot of stock incentives that come along with it, which is great. Now, comparing the Icon program at eXp to Real's elite agent program, there are definitely some differences to note. So at Real Broker, you hit your cap at $12,000. At Real Broker, after you reach your cap of $12,000, you have a post-cap transaction fee of $285. So once you hit $6,000 of the total transaction, which equals to 21 additional transactions, you reach their elite agent status, which is kind of the comparable icon at eXp. Now the difference here is that you can get a lot more stock incentives than you would at eXp. At Real, you automatically get $16,000 in stock. Now your cap is $12,000, so you're getting an additional $4,000 worth of stock. Again, it vests over 3 years, so you would have to stay with the company for it to vest over a 3-year period, but you can also get an additional $8,000 in stock for a total of $24,000 in stock for doing community service or teaching classes, kind of the same things that you would do with the eXp Icon program. So with Real, you have a lower cap of $12,000, but you can make an additional $24,000 in stock that vests over 3 years. With eXp, you have a $16,000 cap, and you can get a total of $16,000 in stock, which vests over 3 years. So just right there, you can see the big difference that you can get with one company versus the other. At Real, you can make way more stock if you're a high producing agent, which is a huge benefit. Yes, you don't get it now, but if you hit elite agent, every single year within 3 years, you're getting an additional $24,000 a year in an incentive in stock based. For me, that's super important because I made Icon Agent over the last 3 years at eXp, and I left a ton of stock that needed to be vesting because I saw the opportunity here, and for me that was very important. Another thing that I really like about Real Broker is the Real Wallet, and I'll go into my screen just to kind of show you the back end of it. I don't have any transactions closed at Real yet, so there won't be any figures, but the Real Wallet, they have a banking system that they're partnered with so that you can get paid super fast, and that's something that really appeals to me because I like to get paid right on time or as fast as possible. So with the Real Wallet is you can take a picture just like you would at eXp, you can upload it to their dashboard, but instead of waiting for it to get direct deposited into your account, it can get deposited within a couple hours or 24 hours max into your Real Wallet that you have with Real. So let's go ahead and go into the dashboard, and I'll show you the benefits of having the wallet, how you can accumulate points to lower your fees and all that good stuff. So I want to show you the wallet and kind of everything that it entails. I'm right here in the Reason app, and right here on the left hand side you have your wallet. So once you click on there, again, I just transferred over, I have no closing, so I don't have actual figures to show you, but this is the dashboard for your wallet. So one of the cool things about Real is their wallets. I already kind of talked about it and touched on it just a little bit, but I absolutely love that I can just upload a picture of a check and it goes directly to my wallet. Now, one of the coolest things is the reward points that they would give for using Real Wallet. When you click on here, you're gonna start to accumulate points. So when you use your card or your debit card, your credit card, you have transaction fees that the merchant charges you or your provided Visa, MasterCard, and all that stuff. What Real has done is that instead of just keeping those fees, they're gonna give a portion of those fees back to us if we use the Real Wallet. So we can accumulate points so that we can pay down our fees, we can pay down our cap, we can pay down many different things that we choose to once we start accumulating points for that. So if we click on here, how rewards work, the Real Wallet is tailored exclusively for Real agents. So how it works is that you're gonna get half a point per $1 on average monthly balance in your Real Wallet checking and tax account. So for every dollar you just have sitting there or there on your balance, you're gonna get a half a point. And then for purchases, you're gonna get 2.5 points for every dollar you spend on purchases with your Real Wallet's Visa debit card. So every time you swipe your card, whether that's paying your phone bill, whether that's going to the grocery store, you're gonna have a physical debit card that you can use for everyday life. You're gonna get 2.5 points for every dollar you spend. So if you spend $1,000, you're gonna get about 2,500 points. I don't know about you, but just groceries alone, we probably spend anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. So if I just use my Real Wallet debit card to spend on groceries of about 3,500 bucks, I'm gonna get about 8,750 points. So how can we spend our points? So you can spend your points on many different ways. One of the ways is you can spend it towards your split, your brokerage fee, your personal deal fee, your broker fee, broker review fee, your post-cap transaction fee, and your elite transaction fee once you get there. And there's different tiers that you can get. So you start off at bronze and it unlocks at 1,000 points. Again, just going back to the scenario, I spent 3,500 bucks a month on groceries. I have 4 kids, we eat a lot. Just FYI, I know that's not normal, but just with my groceries alone, I would get 8,750 points. So at bronze, if 1,000 points equals $1, I would have about $8.75 that I can use towards fees, right? That's just to give you an example. At silver, you unlock at 70,000 points. Now 1,000 points is $1.50, and it goes all the way to platinum, and 1,000 points is $2.50. So is it life-changing? Absolutely not, but these are definitely things that will add up. Now something that I will mention as well, if we come back over here, is that you can start a tax account. So with Real, when you get paid, one of the huge inconveniences for me is that, especially when I started, I had no idea about moving money to a different account for taxes and so on and so forth. You can actually make a tax account so that you can take a percentage of your closings, every single closings, and move it to a tax account. So for example, I set up my tax account with the Real wallet that 20% of every single closing is automatically going to go into that account. So just by having money sit there instead of a credit union or anywhere else, I'm going to start getting points that I can use to pay down all the fees I showed. More than likely, it's going to be my capping fee. Now, if you have enough money in there and you spend enough money with your debit card, you could probably get a substantial amount of your fees or your capping reduced just by using this system. Now, that doesn't include, having things paid right away. And again, it's not locked in here, whether that's the tax account or the Real wallet. You are going to be able to just transfer money elsewhere or transfer to different accounts if you want to. But just by using this system, you're going to be able to have points accumulated that you can pay down things, which is awesome. It's something that they're thinking outside the box that's going to benefit us agents. And it's not just something that they're doing to say, oh, this is awesome. It's actually a great product that's going to benefit us agents at Real. And again, just going back to the ease of use, if you want to use money, you can change your deposit rules, meaning so right here, as you can see, the tax planning account, I'm setting aside 20% of my income to the tax, and you have 80% to the Real wallet. I've already asked Real if we can have a third or fourth or fifth account that we can move money around. They said not as of right now, but it is something that they're working on that they're going to roll out in the future. Something I've also noticed is that they love feedback. So anything with the Reason app or anything with the company, hey, do you guys do this? No, but hey, we'll take it to account, email this person. And I've seen a lot of the things that benefit agents. They're saying not yet, but we're working on it. We might roll it out next quarter or next year or the end of the year. So I see the company that's innovating a lot, but not just to innovate to say, oh, we're doing this cool thing. They're innovating to actually help us in our business. They're innovating to make our lives easier. They're innovating to help us grow our business so that we can all make more money. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the people and the culture that you will find at Real Broker. Now, after 5 years at eXp Realty, there's a lot of freedom that a cloud-based brokerage can offer you, but a lot of the times it can feel very lonely. Even when you're with a local brokerage, unless you're going to events and doing things, it's very easy to feel lonely, to feel secluded, especially when you're just grinding and trying to grow your business. What I found in my very short time at Real, and even when I was looking into it, it was very easy to connect with people from Real. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, yeah, they're trying to recruit you. Of course, they're going to try to give you their time, but I was able to connect with people that I wasn't going to join. Everybody was very open and willing to share information, to connect on Instagram, on Zoom. I got on a bunch of Zoom calls with people that we talked about Real, and we talked about, what are the benefits, this and that, and they were totally fine if I didn't join them. It just felt way more inviting and more collaborative of an environment without the pressure of having to recruit you and the pressure of like, well, if you don't join me over here, you don't get our training. One of the things I love at Real is that the training is completely open. You have Real Academy that everybody has to include their training for free. It's something that Real Broker pushes, that there is no what they call silos. There's no upline or downline that you can only get this specific training. If you give one training to one specific agent, it has to be open to everybody at Real. And I really like that because it got to the point of me trying to recruit people. And it's like, well, if I join you're awesome and I can help you, but this person over here has all this training. And a lot of the times people would go and join other people at my prior brokerage. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do what you have to do to grow your business, but they would join them. And then the trainings that they were promised wasn't what they were expecting. And now they're kind of stuck over there because nobody else will give them training. Of course, I would still help them and be there for them as much as possible. But I really love that it's more about the brokerage and not necessarily who specifically you're joining. I've already connected with so many people at Real, and it's never a, what can you do for me? It's always more of a, how can I help you? How can we help each other? How can we grow not only this company, but grow grow our own businesses as well. And I really love that. And I didn't know how much I needed that or wanted that until I started looking into Real and looking into their culture. So that's today's video, guys. That's my honest thoughts and my honest reasons why I decided to join Real. I believe it's the brokerage of the future with the culture that they've built, the cap system, the incentives financially for you to grow your business, the technology that they have, the ease of use that I can just search something or talk to the AI and it can send me a document, where when I was at different brokerages, it would take me like 12 hours or I have to wait for somebody to email me back. Like, there's just so many things about this brokerage that makes it way more efficient. People care about each other and they try to help each other. It doesn't matter who you join as far as their revenue share. It's just an environment that fosters efficiency. It's an environment that fosters business growth and growing together, and I absolutely love it. So if you're looking to join Real, or if you have questions, whether it's from any other brokerage or Real specifically, reach out to me on social media. We'll love to chat with you. Until next time, take care and God bless.